What's going on, everybody? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Kieran, and I am still alive. How you guys doing? It's been a while since I've been on this, but I'm here. I'm here to do it. I haven't died yet. Still here, pretending to care about all the same things as you guys. So, that being said, today I got a special reading. Because I got a new tarot deck. It's already my favorite tarot deck. It's got animals and stuff on it, which I'm down. I'm down for animals. Not enough to stop eating them, but I like them. They're cool, and this is a really cool deck. It is, I think it's just called the Animal Tarot, and it's by this lady. I think it's a lady, Lisa Robertson. So if that's something that you want to get that. I think the fridge just exploded, so if you hear a strange sound in the background, it could literally be my untimely demise. Nope, it went away. Moving on. So, guys, I got a collective reading to do for you guys. I'm going to be taking a look at the next 2 or 3 weeks to start really getting into some of the energy, especially this last week of September, okay? So this is really going to be the rest of September's reading for just a collective to see what you guys need to hear, what kind of good news is coming your way, what kind of, this is for all signs type of thing. So whatever you need right now at this time, this is for you. So hopefully it will resonate with you and you'll get some information. So I'm going to look at the energy for the rest of September for those of you tuning in. This collective, right? This awakened spiritual collective, however you want to define it, right? Twin Flames, you guys are a part of the same collective, so don't feel like you can't watch it or whatever. And then we're going to be taking a look at some advice from Spirit, see what you guys need to know, and then a little bit of good news, and we'll see what you guys need to look out for, stuff like that. Okay, so a little bit of an outcome as well. So that is what I'm going to be doing the reading on. For those of you who don't know, I have an Instagram. So if you're interested in following that Instagram, the information's, I'll probably put it in the comment or the bio or whatever. I won't mention it every time. It's just because it's new, and I just do like deals and tarot cards of the day and little messages that are helpful, I think. So if you're into that, it's not like a showy kind of Instagram. I'm not posting pictures of myself. It's just for help. So if that's what you guys are interested in, do follow that if you feel called to, right? It's only there, just letting you guys know. I can understand not wanting to follow me. I wouldn't even follow me, so I can't blame you. But for those of you who want to, please check it out. So why don't we just tune in real quick. I probably spent a little bit too much time ranting already. So let me just bring it back to reality here and call in any spirits, guides, guardian angels, ancestors, any beings of love and light that can be with me now. I'm going to do a collective reading. So please, Spirit, why don't we tap into the energy of the collective for the next week or two, so definitely the rest of September. All right, so let's take a look and see really what this last week and a half is bringing you guys. I hope that you can still see the cards. I did drop one on the floor, which is way too far for me to get. I mean, that slid so far that whatever that message was not meant to be. Not meant to be here, guys, because there's no way that I'm leaving this chair. Once I am down, I am down. So let's keep going. Let's take a look. What energy is going on with the collective? What energy is going on? So we have the Three of Swords. Interestingly enough, this was one of the tarot energies that I did of the day recently. I think it was yesterday. And the Three of Swords as an energy talks about some kind of pain. Sometimes guilt, sometimes sometimes a sadness from the past, right? Because it's directly linked to memories, right? The elephant, of course, right? An elephant never forgets, things that kind of saying, right? So that's why I think the elephant's on here. But certainly Three of Swords has to do with pain, heartbreak, some kind of setbacks from the past. So it's almost always directly related to something that's occurred, some kind of memory. So for you guys, this energy right now is bringing up some emotions from the past, some wounds that maybe you thought were healed, and lo and behold, they're still sort of running rampant around your system like some sort of sick virus, right? So there's this, there's almost this purge going through your system at this time. So whatever that may be an actual action that is, that you're playing out in the real life, right? In your experience in life. It could just be painful thoughts, painful emotions, maybe a little bit negative during this time. But the Three of Swords is very temporary kind of energy. It is, and again, it is day to day, so it's not something to worry too much about. But if you are feeling a little bit down recently, don't worry about that. You're right where you need to be. It's usually just because you need to just heal some stuff that you thought was healed, and turns out it wasn't. Right? Yeah, that's why we have the Emperor card after this. You can see the silverback gorilla. So the Emperor here talks about confidence. It talks about being able to make decisions and make choices with a rational intent. Not to say that you don't rely on emotions at all, although the Emperor is certainly much more logical than emotional. It's more to suggest that you are in a position of power where the decisions that you do make have a certain kind of confidence behind them, both spiritual, mental, physical, emotional. It's a real choice. So the Emperor is coming in here to essentially say you're going to be taking charge of your emotions, taking charge of your mental thoughts, your patterns. It's essentially becoming this empowered divine masculine, right? So if you're a man watching this video, essentially, you're going to be finding some more confidence. And if you're a woman watching this video, which I know many of you are, it talks about gaining clarity over your negative, your emotional state. So if you're a feminine watching this, if that's how you kind of identify with your own energy, certainly it's talking about taking back your power, but it may be a more feminine way, whereas the masculine energies is going to be talking about taking back their power in a more masculine way. Okay, but both of them are directly related to confidence, so it hardly matters whether you're a man or a woman. It all talks about this confidence coming through. So with that energy in mind, all that painful Three of Swords energy kind of gets swept under the rug because this Emperor is kind of very much in charge. You can see he kind of has, he's kind of made a stance. He looked like he's ready for anything. He's got what he needs, okay? So you are energetically taking back some of your power, probably directly related to events that did happen in the past. You guys will be basically letting it go and just coming into your power, which seems like a hard thing to do, but honestly, most of us are almost already in our full power. It's just the belief that we're not, like as if we need to do some crazy amount of healing. You don't really need to do so much healing, because if you constantly look for things to heal, you will constantly find them. Most of what being empowered means, for me, in my experience, is just simply giving up the idea that there's anything wrong with you, and you end up more powerful when you're not thinking about anything. So there's a powerful energy coming into you guys. We have the Empress after this, so this is definitely a really strong balancing of emotions. I was already talking about the feminine energy, so to have the Empress come out with the Emperor is definitely a strong indication of a balance of your masculine feminine energy. So this is pure and full potential being reached. This is your masculine energy meeting your feminine energy, and finally kind of shaking hands with another. Okay, so for maybe I can't really speak for women because I don't have a female experience in this earth, but I do understand that for a man, trying to reach a feminine energy within you is very much a clash. It's always this clash against, is this perceived as being feminine, which of course in male-dominated culture is often called gay, right? So is this perceived as being gay, right? And so men navigate their lives around what does not appear to be feminine or weak or emotional, okay, sensitive, right? And there's lots of insults to go with that. So there are, that being said, so for the men, it's like this balancing out where that part of yourself, that sensitive, intuitive, kind, caring person actually does want love and wants to give love. That person, that part of you is going to finally come up to the surface here. And of course, if you're a woman and you're suffering from that, then that's, that can come up as well. But if you're a woman and you're suffering from maybe your masculine energy, which is just about getting career, getting your money together, getting your house, getting some stability, getting your groundedness, decision making, control of your emotions, rational thought, decisive actions, things like that, those are coming in for you guys as well. And it's coming in for both parties because you have both energies, okay? So it's actually really good that you guys are all balancing out. I'm going to get one more card here that fell to the ground, but luckily not too far. So, whoa, shit, that's not a great one, guys. We have the Five of Cups, which looks like a capybara. I think that's what that animal is. I don't know. It might not be. I honestly might be totally off. I have no idea what this is. But I'm sticking with capybara. I got $10 on capybara. But this is the Five of Cups, guys. And the Five of Cups talks about walking away, really, or about being sad about something that's happened. You haven't quite walked away yet. So Three of Swords, Five of Cups. there is heavy energy going on this week. And it's funny, the Three of Swords is next to the Emperor, so your confidence is beaten because of something that happened mentally. So you don't have a lot of confidence because there's this negativity in your mind, in your mental state, probably because of something that happened in the past that directly damaged your confidence, in your ability to think. So something that hurt your ego happened in the past. You took a licking, a beating, a wound, right? That we would associate it with the ego. Nothing really wrong with that. It hurts, right? If somebody came up to you and started calling you a fat piece of shit, that's, the person being hurt, you, would still kind of be your ego, but it still hurts nonetheless, right? So it's no ego shaming here. And the Five of Cups with the Empress, which is of course emotional, is emotional energy, more in tune with the universe and stuff like that. The Five of Cups is almost like your feminine energy probably was wounded because, or is wounded because of something that's happened in the past, some kind of pain, something that really, made you feel like there's nothing you could do and it was hard to move on from because you just kept looking at it. And of course, when you look at spilled milk, it's always going to be spilled until you clean it up, right? So the more you look at it, the more upset you get, and yet there's clearly nothing you can do. So there's this interesting kind of energy where both of these parts that are directly linked to both kinds of your energies are being directly healed and, of course, at the same time inflicted, right? And then lastly, for this week's energy, we have the Queen of Swords, which is this beautiful white or Caucasian, for the layman, the Caucasian wolf here, okay? So the Queen of Swords is this person, this energy of somebody who is very sure of herself, sure of themselves, and can certainly make decisions, sometimes with a very decisive sharpness that can come across as very bitchy or authoritative, but that's the kind of energy that's needed, because essentially this week you are being primed into a position of being able to make clear decisions. So as the Queen of Swords, it really is talking about cutting away this emotional stagnation that's kind of holding on to you, okay? It's Queen associated with that feminine energy. So, but yes, at the same time, it's that mental card, that sword energy. So your past that is being brought up to the surface, if you're resonating with this reading, is soon to be severed. But it's not going to be severed in a way that is out on the outside. It's not going to be an external event. It's going to be you getting sick and tired of feeling the same way. And so at some point, there's a tipping point between these energies as your natural masculine and feminine energies rise up, that your emotional baggage, your mental negativity, that is going to become such a dissonance to you that it's going to become quite obvious which side you should lean towards. And you're going to lean towards your own self, your healed emotion. You're going to open yourself up, and that's going to be your decision. You're going to make that decision, that Queen of Swords this week. So there is this profound, life-altering decision coming in here that's basically, you're going to cut away the bullshit. We have this Queen of Swords, so a lot of you also speaking your truth is probably how this is going to come up. So whatever emotional wounds, whatever you have going on, there's probably going to be a good opportunity to tell the truth this week to somebody. So if somebody, for instance, does come back from your past, then you're telling them the truth. Maybe you didn't in the past. Maybe it's a family member you need to speak up to. Maybe it's a coworker. Maybe it's a friend who's done you wrong. Maybe it's just a friend who doesn't know you're doing that they're doing you wrong. In whatever situation, there's a truth coming. Okay, and it could be an internal truth, but usually when there is an internal truth, there's almost always this, this next step to telling other people that truth. Okay, so now that's the energy, which I hope that made sense, guys. But that was the energy for this next week of September. I'm gonna get into advice from Spirit now. So what advice, Spirit guides, do you have for the collective I'm reading for? What should they know for this last part of September? I hope you guys can still see the cards so you know that I'm not cheating. So, advice. We have the Eight of Swords, and we have this mole rat. We have a mole rat, and he is scared. Okay, there's this dark kind of cloud, scary shit going on behind him. So the mole rat, which I don't know if you know this, but all mole rats are blind, or they have very bad eyesight, at least, and they're racist. All mole rats are racist. That's also true. And so racist mole rats are afraid, and they are not too sure of why they're afraid. It's being trapped. It's this. When you're in fear, you almost start to believe that your fear of what you're afraid of is actually real, right? So it's almost this layer and layer of fear. You become trapped in it. You become stuck. So advice is to get out of that energy of fear, to move away from fear. Something that's really easy to do when you identify with the outside world. Something that I think we're all guilty of from time to time. I think it's very hard to not to be involved with this 3D energy world because you're living in it. So the things that are here can become, on the outside, can be a very obvious sign that something must be wrong, and so you try to, you get really scared that nothing's going to work out, right? So that fear energy, the spirit guides really wanting to come in here and just let you guys know through these messages, through me, whatever, that that this energy of fear needs to be subsided. There needs to be some kind of completion of that, right? That you need to get out of that, get out of your mental space. That's where fear lives. Fear lives in fear always lives in the future. I guess in the past as well, but the idea is that fear never lives in the present moment. So if you're in the present moment, the chances are you're not overthinking or thinking too hard. You're just living, you're experiencing it. So Eight of Swords, if you're, stop overthinking, overanalyzing. It may be hard to not use your mental body at this time because things may be strange for you, but your thoughts are an expanding force, if that makes sense. For instance, at one point in your life, you may not have known that that the capital of Canada was Ottawa. Okay, let's just say that for an example. And you might have just learned that now. But the capital of Canada is Ottawa, and you may not have known that at one point in your life. And let's just say that now that you do. So you now have this new information, which now translates as a thought, right? So your thoughts create fear. Fear creates thoughts. But there's no there's no limit to your thoughts, really. They can just keep going, but they don't have any real inherent worth to them because they're ever expanding and ever growing. New information comes into your mind. So when you listen to your fears, you're essentially capping yourself and saying that this is the maximum potential of your intellectual ability, and that creates fear, right? Fear, it has to be like in a bubble. It has to be there. There has to be for fear to exist, there has to be like a limit that you're not willing to cross. But once you cross that, you realize that your mind can handle more information. And with more information, there's wisdom and insight and perception changes. And that's, again, why I use that example of Ottawa. Because now you may know something new that you didn't know before, and so now you're slightly less ignorant. So, the same thing with fear, guys. So, the card that fell out here was the Seven of Swords. So stop lying to yourself, stop deceiving yourself, and stop letting others deceive you. There's strong messages here with this. I think that's a weasel. Looks like my cousin. But this is weasel, I think. Weasel for sure. And Seven of Swords, deception, lying. So it's not about lying to yourself anymore. Really lying to yourself is essentially maybe pretending that everything is okay when it really isn't. That's the message that's coming in here. Lying to yourself is like when you keep going through life, thinking like, oh, well, this is who I am and whatever. But no, the truth is, you're not. If you have dreams, if you have goals, if you have whatever it is that you really want, and you're denying yourself that, you're lying to yourself. You're really, in effect, lying to others. So the advice here is to stop letting that energy affect you. It's directly related to the fear as well. Stop letting fear run your life, right? Lying to yourself is listening to fear. So stop listening to the fears inside of yourself because they're unwarranted, unnecessary, and untrue. Whatever you're afraid of, whether or not it's insecurities or something maybe happening or failure, whatever it is you're afraid of, I promise you that the only reason you think it is because you have not broken past that barrier of identification with that thought. So you just need to break past it, which seems really hard to do, right? and it's presented as an easy option, but it isn't, of course. It does take some back and forth rocking motion, but that's why it's just advice to let you guys know that if you're already taking out those practices, do take a look. And we have the Ten of Swords. So all the advice cards are swords, guys. So this is like endings. Stop it. The Ten of Swords is this pigeon is fucked up. Like that pigeon's done. So this pigeon, man. Oh my God. I've seen some pigeons like that in real life. It's not great. So the pigeon is dead, guys. That's my point here. And you guys are going through a mental death as well, a transformation. Okay, it's a complete end to negativity. So stop letting the negativity of your life, the endings that you've occurred, that negative thinking, just let it go. Let go of the mental judgments of yourself, and let go, let go of this, of the energy of staying stuck inside of your head. It's not going to get you anywhere. Your thoughts say something like, you're a piece of shit, you're a loser, how are you doing this to yourself, X, Y, and Z, I'll never get this, you'll never do this, etc., etc. And at the same time, they say things like, well, let's get better, or oh, I should do this. Or sometimes you have profound thoughts, and you think, oh, that's the reason I'm going through this, and so, and you're not an idiot is essentially what I'm trying to say, and yet at the same time, there's an element of sabotage or negative thinking or blocks within our mental process that can happen. And in order to let go of that, it's not to come up with more solutions mentally, because you're clearly capable of having positive thoughts just as much as negative ones. The problem is to stop thinking altogether. Not like Lenny from Mice and Men, that's a little bit too much, but to let go of the judgment of what you're currently experiencing and try and live a little bit more heart space and just allow things to happen to you, and try to the best of your ability to remain neutral at the very least. Neutral towards positivity is usually the best example, but people that preach positivity all the time, I think, are a little bit ludicrous, because life is not a positive thing. It's not a negative thing either. It's just a thing. It's not perfect by definition, so it is very hard to stay positive all the time. So certainly you should try, but don't beat yourself up for your negativity. And a lot of this, you could be negative about how negative you're being. Okay, so loosen up, guys. Let go of that mental body. Get out of your head, because that's really going to serve you. That's the advice. So I want to take a look and see what kind of good news is coming your way. So dear spirit guides, what good news do we have coming this way for the collective? I want to get some good news for them. So rest of September, what good news is coming towards the collective? Okay, so we have the Moon card, which is an owl, appropriately so. So the Moon card talks about intuition, essentially, dreams, things like that. But messages through the intuition. It's dark, it's nighttime, you can't really see. You have to rely on your instincts, your intuition to get you through, right? So the moon, as good news, is coming to you to suggest that there is this intuitive message coming towards you. Okay, this is a heightened time of intuition. So your intuition is not only going to be stronger, which may be a good time to actually practice anything related to your intuition, psychic things. It could be a good time to test your psychic abilities if this intuition energy is coming in. So you're going to be able to trust your intuition. Your intuition, based with the next card that I got, is going to come true. So we have the Ace of Wands. It's a new beginning, a start, energy coming back to you. This is a brand new energetic spark lighting you up. Okay, now this could be the direct result of something. Ace of Wands talks about partnerships, enterprises coming together, business projects, the start of a project, a new idea, an action-oriented idea, like a business idea, something like that, invention, what have you, a book, anything like that, a creative idea. And, or it could, of course, be some sex coming your way, some passionate new beginnings, some romance to that degree, but more fun kind of stuff like that. But it's a new beginning nonetheless. It's an ace. It's new. So your intuition, you probably had to have using your intuition. I fucked that sentence up bad, guys. Holy crap. You've probably had to use your intuition over these past couple of months quite strongly, and especially over the past couple of weeks. And because of that, it's been heightened, and you've been holding on to this idea. Your intuition's telling you, oh, everything's going to be okay. Don't it'll be, this will happen. Don't worry. And finally, this Ace of Wands is coming your way. So I think for many of you, it's going to be kind of a manifestation of something that your intuition has been letting you know is coming. For others of you, your intuition is getting heightened, stronger. Your intuition is growing. You're going to be able to see some things coming. You're becoming much more prone to seeing the truth of things. And the Ace of Wands, again, new beginnings of some kind. So could be traveling, could be a new job, place of movement, things like that. What other good news do you have? We have the Five of Pentacles. So if this is good news, it's talking about a period of change and instability essentially coming to an end, probably as a result of this Ace of Wands. So if you've been feeling like you've been having to really struggle to survive in this world, that this period of instability is coming to an end. So there is going to be some groundedness coming your way. We do have the Strength card. So this is obviously with the oxen here. It just talks about the pure strength that you do have, that you do have inside of you, perseverance to continue, this inner power, this real empowerment. Okay, it's a power card. So this is talking about the strength to move through. You're getting the inner strength that you need. That is coming in. There's this internal reservoir of power coming towards you from the soul, right? There's new strength, new energy coming towards you this week that is certainly going to help you push forward. That is going to give you the energy that you need, coupled with that Ace of Wands. Some instability is going to end here, more than likely possibly because of your own empowerment coming on. And then lovingly, we have the Fool card, a little cricket, a little Jiminy Cricket, I think is his name. And yeah, that's all I got to say about him. So the Fool card, new beginnings, new horizons, jumping like this cricket off towards some new adventure, some leap of faith, essentially. So that being said, the Fool card, Ace of Wands, both new beginnings, instability ending. So there is this good news energy coming your way. So you guys are getting empowered, and there is going to be this opportunity, this new leaf turn, this new chapter beginning. So if you are going to close something, something is going to be closed for you. There's going to be a new beginning. So it really looks like altogether, guys, kind of wrapping this reading up, that this next week and a half of September is you guys coming into your full power, letting go of negativity, and finally, by the time really October comes around, by the end of September here, you're moving away from uncertainties and into some new kind of powerful beginning where the instability you've been feeling is going to sort of it's going to go away, right? It's been a temporary period you've been going through, and that's going to end soon, just a little bit more, and then it's only going to last a little bit longer. And then there's the strength energy, this power, this new beginning, this new leaf. So for a lot of you guys here, we're talking about this is really the rest of this month is a really big, important time for you guys, where you are taking back control of yourself, of your actions, of who you are, and what you want to feel like. So you guys are going to be feeling empowered quite soon. You guys are very close, almost done. Just hang in there, okay? All right, guys, I hope this reading was helpful. If you guys want any personal readings, anything like that, link and stuff is always in the bio. And I'm happy that you guys are subscribing. I appreciate you guys. And I'll talk to you guys next time I do a reading. All right, guys, thanks so much. Talk soon. Bye-bye.